Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Late Night Snack. I am Andrew Farrell, and this is just a little show where we pop into the kitchens of our friends and see what they're making for a late night snack. In crazy times like these, it's always good to have a friend around, especially if they're making something sort of like a sloppy Joe. So today we've got Janie Bogardus, a wonderful chef from around the city, and if you've ever seen an NSCC ad before, you've definitely seen her. She is front and center. Anyway, Janie, welcome aboard to Late Night Snack. It's great to have you. Uh,
Much.
Thanks for having us in your kitchen.
Yes, thanks. It's pretty small, but we're going to do the best that we can.
Hey, it's all good. So, talk us through what you're making for a snack tonight. You've told us a little bit before, but I want to get into your ketchup based sauce science in a little bit here as well.
Yeah, so if anybody follows me on Instagram, they will see my very popular hashtag ketchup denim, which I usually throw on anything that's kind of like a meat dish or like a something I'd eat at home or like a staff meal in the restaurant, but also sometimes like dishes in restaurants that I prepared that I find kind of funny or that have a use for ketchup. And this all kind of started just creating staff meals in some past restaurants I worked in. And the story behind this particular sauce I'm going to share with you is we were trying to find a use for beef carpaccio scraps.
Well, I mean, it's a common everyday thing. What do I do with all this beef carpaccio?
Right.
Yeah.
So we would do kind of like a quick fry, garlic and put it on bread, just eat it as a sandwich. And eventually it was like we're running out of sauces, we're running out of interest in doing the same thing all the time. So I said, well, let's do like a sloppy Joe sauce. So ketchup, basic condiment ingredients that you have in the fridge. You can spruce it up with some fresh
Mm-hmm.
herbs and whatever you want. It's super easy, but that has since evolved into my love of ketchup-based sauces. So, I mean, there's there's a bunch of sauces you can make with ketchup. You can do sweet and sour. You can make a really, really cheap tomato sauce if you're in a pinch. You can adapt to a pizza sauce. It's so versatile. I mean, tomato-based sauces are the backbone of a lot of food that we love.
You just
Um,
got to account for the sugar and the vinegar in with the tomato
yeah,
and balance it all
and
out.
one thing I will say about ketchup, it doesn't matter what brand you use. And now everybody, people that really love ketchup will argue about this. Are you a French's or are you a whatever? And is it Canada made and blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
honestly, it's always the same ingredients unless you're buying some really crazy ketchup. So I just always opt for the cheap ketchup. This is another thing that people who work with me make fun of me for, because I will splurge for the nicest local ingredients, but I buy the cheapest possible ketchup.
Sometimes that's the cost of nostalgia right there.
Yeah,
Do you remember the purple and green ketchups that they had a while
yeah.
ago?
We weren't allowed to eat that stuff growing up. We didn't eat a lot of processed foods, and they're gone now, thank God. So
Yeah, yeah. I just can't imagine making a sauce with purple ketchup. So I'm glad
yeah,
we're not. I'm glad we're not there right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
great,
Cool. Yeah. So take it away. Why don't you start cooking up a little snack here?
great. So basically, I'm just gonna make this sauce, and I'm gonna kind of just improvise this. So I'm not actually following a recipe. I would encourage people at home during quarantine to actually try out a sloppy Joe, because sloppy Joes we always think manwich from a can, and it's basically the sauce we're gonna make, but not
Right.
as good. The best thing about the sauce, it's stuff you probably have on hand, but you can also substitute a lot of it. So our base is ketchup, but you could use canned tomatoes or tomato paste with some water, fresh tomatoes, roasted tomatoes, whatever. So I'm gonna put in probably about a cup of ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
I've already cooked off 1 pound of ground beef.
Nicely
Another
browned. Yep.
Another thing about sloppy joes, you can use any meat, cooked or raw. You can use ground anything, but I've used it a lot. Like I said, the beef carpaccio scraps, or meatloaf. You get tired of eating the leftover meatloaf, you chop that up. Meatballs, burgers, whatever. You can put anything in there and turn it into a sloppy joe.
It's
So
perfect. Just everybody's probably raiding their freezer a little bit extra these times. So
yeah,
find anything in there that's
especially
works.
in
Put it.
quarantine, because we only have so much stuff, and then you make a big meal and you're tired of eating the same thing after 4 days, and you gotta improvise for sure. So
And it's a great way to raid your fridge. Right? You got Worcestershire sauce there.
yeah, Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Well,
Worcester sauce. Worcester sauce.
probably like a tablespoon. I mean, again, just eyeball it. If you don't have Worcestershire, just use soy sauce. Would be the best alternative that everyone has. Yellow mustard, you could use Dijon if you had it.
If you're going fancy, sloppy Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mustard, I'm going to probably put, oh, this is perfect. It's like out.
Haha, nice.
So I'm going to put, let's say this is like 2 tablespoons. And then usually I add water to the sauce anyway. So I'm just going to add a little water in my mustard.
Now you see, this is, you can tell right now, folks. This Janie is a pro. She's rinsing out a container and using that water to go back into the sauce.
There you go.
Yeah, if you're ever opening 6 to 8 cans of tomatoes, you got to rinse that first can out and then get all the juice and pass it down. Don't want to waste a drop.
You can't waste anything in quarantine either.
No, of course.
I'm keeping all my bread scraps. I'm making breadcrumbs, croutons, anything.
Absolutely.
So I'll show you this concoction so far, if you can see.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Nice and watery.
Watery mustard, ketchup. It looks gorgeous. I'm going to give the chef's kiss.
Yeah. Beautiful. And now you can put like brown sugar, you use white sugar, any kind of sweetener, honey. I'm just use the local maple syrup because I got it. Probably, again, maybe a tablespoon of that.
And you have a cat named Maple too, don't you?
I do have a cat named Maple, and she's on Instagram, and she is slowly becoming famous, possibly going to be my retirement plan, but...
I'm working that with Hugo too, but he's a little too barky to be a retirement plan so far. But you know, you gotta keep training him. You know, it's hard work, especially if you got a child actor in the house. You got to keep him working.
Yeah. Final ingredient here: some Dave's hot sauce. Use any hot sauce you want, but this is good stuff.
Good and local.
And it's local. Yep. Lastly, some salt and pepper. Just a little dash, probably like a teaspoon.
Season it up. Awesome.
And maybe a teaspoon of salt. Cool. So I'm going to mix this up. Right now it just looks like kaleidoscopy. Again, I don't know how well you can see, but
it looks a little sloppy to me.
A little sloppy. It's kind of getting that creamy, watered down ketchup look.
Perfect. And everybody, I want you to recognize the emphasis on loose measurements. Everybody's at home. We are not rinsing out every measuring cup in the house. Just eyeball it a bit. Give it a little taste.
And the good thing about sloppy joes, like, you make it how you want it. Like, these are the basics of what makes the sauce. But, you know, if you don't like something, leave it out.
Yeah.
I always think you got to use ketchup, but again, like, I've done it with other tomato stuff just to use it up. So
totally. Hey, we've got a bunch of people watching. Hey, Chef Alain, good to see you. Paul Ambrose Heighton from Pictou County, good to see you. Ivan Chan, you're out there. I see you. Oh, James Henderson, and back again. Good to see you. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. This is awesome. We got Sloppy Joe Central on the go here on Late Night Snack with Chef Janie Bogardus. Awesome. All right, so you got your sauce. What's next?
All right, so it's all mixed up. It tastes good to me. We're going to move the camera here. Hopefully everything works. Stay with me. Over to my stove.
Excellent camera work.
Thank you. I'm a pro. Yes.
Everybody's got to do it all now with these shows. You know?
So again, this is just 1 pound of ground beef that I already cooked off, just so you didn't have to hear it sizzling the whole time.
It is a great sound, but it's bad for bad television.
Bad television, and I would highly recommend looking into some local meat pickups throughout quarantine. There's a lot of farmers who can use our support. I've been getting everything from Sweet Williams right now, and they're in the brewery market. They do contactless pickups. You just order, a couple days before. Great stuff. So we got a pound of beef. And first, this is like the bonus round. If you want to soup up your joes a little more.
Ooh.
Some garlic and onion. There's 2 different kinds of onions in there because that's what I have to use up.
Perfect.
So I'm just going to put that in, get it going.
At least half the people watching right now have half an onion in the fridge that they need to do something with.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, if you had to improvise onion powder, like French onion soup mix, whatever you want, soup it up, make it nice.
This is, I want everybody to, in this time you're stuck at home, improvise. Go into your cupboard, use what you have. Just, dust off the spices.
Use it all up.
Use it all up.
I like a little bit of crunch in my onion, so I'm kind of starting everything together here, and I'm going to let it get really saucy and bubbly.
And that sauce is going to marinate into the onion a little bit and take some of that rawness out of it, but you'll still get that nice crunch.
This is what it looks like so far. I'm going to add a splash of water just to kind of get everything started. I also have one of these stoves that goes from like super hot to not hot at all to super hot to not hot at all.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
And again, hi to everybody. Uncle Jim, how you doing, Uncle Jim? Good to see you. Well, not that I can see you, but hope you guys are okay in Moncton there. Good to see you. And Jamie McCauley, how you doing? He commented 3 hearts and a fire symbol. So that sounds cool. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. And Zach Vandenholen says hi. Yeah. Awesome. Sloppy Joe's on the goes.
The best English muffins.
Oh, English muffins, perfect. And you know what I really appreciate? Like, I didn't realize how readily available English muffins are, but I live next to 2 pharmacies, and they always have English muffins. It's a great little go-to.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is just going to keep going and getting hot. Bonus round, if you're fancy, chopped parsley, and there's some green pepper just diced up in there.
Anything green is fancy at this point. So
anything green is fancy.
Yeah.
Again, with the local, I've been getting pickups from Riverview Herbs as well. So anything I can grab and go and just like not deal with people is great.
It's really awesome how so many of our purveyors and suppliers have sort of adapted to the new normal, and they have these pickup services. Check on Instagram or their website or their Facebook page, or ask a friend, because so many people know where to find this great stuff, and there are different pickup situations at the brewery market in Alderney. So, yeah, it's always good to keep that in mind. Support local as much as you can. But
use whatever you have too. I mean, like a lot of this, like this recipe is a really good example of like I grew up, at times not having the most money and learning to adapt with what you have, and Sloppy Joe's is a really good thing for that.
It's a great catch-all recipe, like you said. Like if you've got a little onion in the fridge, a little pepper, whatever, chuck her in. A little pepperoni would be good in there too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, a little nub. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we're working.
At 2 doors down, I had this years ago. I had this obsession with making a Sloppy Joe dumpling. So we'd make the Sloppy Joe filling because, of course, in a burger restaurant, you often have some extra burgers lying around.
Right.
So make a big old chili and make a nice dumpling dough, or make a little pot sticker with it and just serve it with the sour cream and green onions. Like super simple, but dirty delicious. That's what that is.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing a similar one in quarantine, doing donair dumplings, and I hope now I haven't given that away to someone. But I've been like planning it out for probably a week now, and I think I've got how I'm going to do it. So that'll be pretty cool. Cool. So this is, you can see it's steaming. It's doing its thing. Looks nice.
Looks great. I love that green in there. That's good variety.
Oh, it's so fresh.
So fresh.
Something I always think about with like Sloppy Joe's and Manwich, the rap group Far Side has this line, and they say, a hero is a sandwich, but a manwich is a meal.
Right.
And I love that.
So this is a late night snack. So
yeah, this is a meal. Yeah,
it's a meal. This is gonna put you to sleep.
Yeah,
in a good way. Oh, Megan Boland, that's a great call. Sloppy Joe poutine. Megan, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we did that as a special once. But that Sloppy Joe poutine, I mean, yes,
really good.
You can't. Yes.
And honestly, like this is pretty much the start to a chili. I mean, you throw in some tomato cans, some chickpeas or beans. There you go. There's another meal out of leftovers. So
absolutely, and then maybe you have a little bit of rice and some chicken broth in the fridge. You got a little soup.
Sweet.
And I mean, as you know, having worked in professional kitchens for quite a while, if you can turn last night's special into the next night's special with a few little modifications, that's saving food costs, and it's also keeping you creative.
This is how all this stuff starts too. I mean, like, again, people laugh at me for the use of the ketchup or the use of the carpaccio scraps to make a Sloppy Joe, but when you're trying to keep your food costs down and you're managing a kitchen, you want to keep your staff fed and happy, but you also want to keep your profits going. So it's got to make sense. All right.
Absolutely. And that's the tightrope of a chef's life right there, right?
Jesus.
Oh wow. That looks awesome.
So, whoop, one sec.
Oh, Chef Alain says that looks awesome too. So we're getting
thanks, Chef.
Good validation there. Oh yes, there we go. Megan Boland. Yeah, we did do sloppy Joe poutine. Yeah, sloppy Joe poutine. I would eat that right now. I'd eat a sloppy Joe right now. You got me primed.
Anybody wants one, just come and knock on the door. I'll put it outside. All right. So this is like if I want it, you can cook this down for quite some time, but really the sauce is like thin enough. The meat was already cooked, and I want the bite of the onion and the peppers, so it's pretty well ready to go. Like I said, you could throw it all in a slow cooker with the beef even raw and just let it go all day. But pretty much ready to go. My favorite way to eat a sloppy Joe is just on bread with cheese. Let's switch back here. All right.
Awesome.
Again, use whatever bread you have. Use a hot dog bun. Use Wonder Bread. Use your sourdough that you bake. Use an English muffin.
Use your Kamut gluten-free sprout loaf.
Exactly. This is another like super sweet local delivery deal that we have right now. Like this is like crack. Like this.
I love that. Is that smearkaas?
Yeah, we call this
Dutchman. Oh my goodness, I miss that stuff.
We call this Gouda crack in the house because it's pretty much like cheese whiz on steroids. It's just like the craziest spreadable cheese that exists.
It's incredible. My mom often puts one in my stocking for Christmas, and
yeah,
very happy with that.
So that was like when I saw they were delivering, I was like, "What? That's amazing!" So we got like 3 jars and 3 pieces of Gouda. It was crazy, but we're stocked up now.
Chef Ivan was just saying he remembers you did a crazy, awesome rabbit dumpling dish once when you guys worked together.
Yeah, that's true. Back at the Watch. Would have been one of the forehand dinners we did.
Oh, cool.
So.
I don't know if it's sloppy enough. Like, it's barely dripping. You got to mess it up a little bit.
You can have it sloppier.
There you go.
But.
Just needed that little squish. There you go.
It's like, how close can I go? Yeah.
Right? Oh, that's good.
Honestly,
this is the tease. This is the tease of late night snack. Is I just want to reach in and take a big old bite.
Not super sloppy. Doesn't have to be, but it can be. I mean, heck, put in more ketchup, even just a little more water. Like your sauce has already got all the flavor it needs, so you can just add a little more water and cook it out for a little bit longer.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, basically that's it. We've got. I used to have a cook that worked for me. He called it Sloppy Janes. So you don't call me Jane, but you can call it a Sloppy Jane if you want. So
there we go. Well, I think you just named it. We have a Sloppy Jane.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, do you want to take a bite for the camera to show everybody the true sloppy nature? Because I mean, I'm living vicariously through this.
If I took a bite, it was like, oh, it's gross. No.
You got to get your hunch on. You got to get the elbows to the right profile. Oh yeah.
Oh man, pretty sloppy.
That's pretty sloppy. That's legit sloppy. I will give that a 9 out of 10 on the slop scale, which in this case is a very good scale to be on.
And honestly, super good. Again, use what you have and just taste the sauce before you throw it in the pan. Taste the sauce when you put it in the pan. Any cook knows that, but just taste all the way through and have fun.
Totally. And we'll James Henderson in the comments here was really into the fact that just using what you have is such an important message right now. Just like, you don't have to go out and buy everything. Just have a look in your fridge, have a look in your cupboards, and be a little creative.
Yeah. No, I'm a super huge fan of improvising and using up what you have, and also like not eating the same leftovers day after day after day after day. So like if you do make maybe a whole meatloaf, you also make some sloppy joes or some meatballs or whatever, and just like spruce it up. Yeah,
absolutely, little variety. Well, Janie, thank you so much for coming on and just giving us a little window into your late night snack world. Yeah, it was awesome to have you on. And on Instagram, people can follow you at Janie Bogardus.
Yep, Janie Bogardus, just first last name.
Janie Bogardus, first last name. Done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, all the best to you in these quarantine times, and thanks again for coming on, Chef. On behalf of Chef Ivan and producer Adam, who's in the headphones, and thanks again for tuning in, everybody. It's been awesome to have you along, and tune in for a little late night snack. Anyway, take care, everybody, and it's been an awesome day. See ya.